able to, you know, support yourself. That's what parents all worry about, right? Whether or not the kids can support themselves.
All right, I'm chewing a little bit, so I'll let you take over for a moment. If you want, I'll be a bit quiet for a minute.
All right, so who are the players I'm seeing? Sheik and Odinsgar? Is this? Oh, well,
Odin is
what?
Deathnote.
Oh, okay, yeah, Deathnote. So on Terranistan, we have Deathnote versus Sheik. Deathnote spawning as the yellow human player over here on the bottom right-hand side of the map, opening up with Altar of Kings, Barracks, and a farm. Meanwhile, Sheik is opening up Necropolis with Crypt, Altar of Darkness, Ziggurat. No crazy Tavern Hero openings at all. And actually, I wanted to get your opinion on this, Todd. The Terranistan rearrangement. What are your thoughts on it? I know this was like over a year ago, but it feels like there's like the actual base is a lot smaller, making it harder for undead to like put down buildings and easier to wall in. Do you like the base in the corners, or did you like it when the observatories were in the corner?
I think the map is much better now, personally. It still could need some improvement. I mean, almost every map could, but yeah, I think I like it. You know, like Terranistan is not known as the most balanced necessarily. In fact, it might be one of the more imbalanced maps. But there's still certain matchups that it's played in. I would say what I don't like is the RNG, you know, with the first camp that you do. You got very clear good items, usually the mana ones, and less good ones like Greater Invuln or Scroll of the Beast. That kind of bothers me. But the map itself, I kind of like. You know, obviously it's a very specific map with a very easy expand to take and protect because it's kind of in the dead end and how to attack. But I like it for sure. It's one of my favorite maps, I would say still. I think maybe they could have kept it so that they didn't add critters on it though. You know, it used to be the only map on which there was no critters. And then undeads were already doing really well, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna add critters." It's like, come on.
Yeah, because that's what undead needs—a bunch of skeletons all over the place. All right, so what do you think about this Dreadlord opening first here for this fast expand over the Crypt Lord? Why sleep instead of, you know, power overwhelming with the beetles and impale?
So when you play this, you want to go, you want to power level Carrion Swarm, and eventually get Infernal as well. The Dreadlord is great to expo with because of that first sleep. And yeah, Sheik is just very good at these expanding styles. He loves Necromancer, so I actually wonder if he might go Necros here.
All right, so expansion, Ziggurat up first. That will obviously be converted to a Nerubian Tower. Archmage looks like he's going to be trying to do a fast expansion as well. Militia already getting in position, and Sheik having a good eye on all of this information as well, as we're going to be seeing Archmage drop some water elementals. And well, it looks like both sides are just going to stay on their side of the river, so to speak, and try and play a long macro game here.
You know, Crystal Ball is not a very good item, but when you drop it first like this, when you straight expo the passive game, it actually gives you some pretty good info. Then you don't even need to scout anymore with like skeletons and stuff. He stole his Troll Berserker, you see that?
Wait, what?
It's in the center of the map right now. Yeah.
Oh wow! So did he grab it? Like Acolyte stole the Troll Berserker, getting that little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that Troll Berserker early stage.
Oh my god, the Archmage cancelled the expo. I just saw. He sent a footman, he bought staff, he staffed to the expo and cancelled it. This is big because now this puts a lot of pressure on Sheik to make something happen. But Deathnote's powered the tower on his expo. He's actually not even starting the expo, he's so scared about the attack.
Alright, so yeah, Archmage double water elemental, that's going to be enough piercing damage to stop here. And what is going on? Archmage is just trying to sneak away. That Nerubian Tower is going to slow him down. Are we going to see a sleep on it? Perhaps try to get a surround here, down to 86 hit points. The Carrion Swarm could try and finish it off. No, Archmage able to get away. Scroll of Town Portal used right there as the Dreadlord does get to level 3. And both sides don't. No, I take it back. Deathnote, yeah, Expo is back up. It looked like the peasants were walking back for a little bit, but Sheik does get enough information.
He has Dreadlord level 3. He's gonna staff and try and kill a lot. Actually, he doesn't have a unit very near, but he's sending an Acolyte. This Archmage is in real danger, so he's healing it. Carrion Swarm on peasants. Are you ready?
Oh, that's going to be really bad there. Archmage also down to 200, and there's the. Are we going to see a carry-on swarm right there? Yes, there it goes down to 134. He's trying to get away. Forceful Shadow Priest trying to absorb his or take away as much of that damage as possible. Archmage down to 96, but the Dreadlord going to finish off the Troll Shadow Priest instead, going for the other target there as the Archmage is just trying to hide away from that carry-on swarm. Archmage does have Cloak of Shadows, which is useful even during the day now, as we're looking at a slight engagement again. Archmage down to 117 hit points. Dreadlord down to 32, and there's a sleep in the middle of the Cloak of Shadows. Unable to break sleep. Is he going to be able to get away? Oh, his own peasant takes him out. A critter block? No, a peasant block as the Archmage falls at level 3, and the Dreadlord now needs to return home.
The betrayal. Yeah, that was really unfortunate. If at least he had forced an extra Carrion, he would have still lost Archmage, but these freaking peasants. You know, Deathnote is a pretty emotional guy. He's known for like that dispel clip, where like the priests are not dispelling and he's shouting, "Dispel, dispel, idiots." I'm pretty sure he shouted just now when that peasant blocked him. Move!
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so now that, well, behind this, Sheik hasn't teched a tier 2 yet, and Archmage Deathnote's already halfway there, so I think that Deathnote still has an easier follow-up here. Archmage was resurrected at the tavern, as the Forceful Shadow Priest needs to get away as well. Dreadlord gets another sleep on the Archmage. Archmage down to 115 hit points, 1 or 2 more hits, down to 6. Is he going to be able to... Goblin Zeppelin is going to fly the unfriendly skies, running around the corner. Oh, so close, Goblin Shredder.
Player's forces are under attack.
Deathnote loses his Archmage for a second time in as many minutes, and Sheik is just pulling ahead. He has the hero level advantage by far. He is now teching the tier 2. Archmage, it looks like it's going to get resurrected at the tavern again, and even at level 3, it's not cheap. You can't just be throwing all of your gold there, as ghouls are now swarming over here at the expansion.
Yeah, this is getting really expensive. All these Archmage reviving, level 3 no less. Dreadlord already being level 4 is so scary because that means that he can just creep, get level 5, and then that's when the Carrion Swarm really hurts and pushes him to level 6 very quickly.
A player's forces are under
Yeah,
But the tech
behind
was not
this,
fast from Sheik.
Yeah. All right, so behind this, Deathnote needs to get to Spellbreakers before, and then hopefully be able to absorb some of that carry-on swarm. He can't train footmen here, but it looks like there's just so much damage just from this Dreadlord and these Force Troll Berserkers that Deathnote wants to build an army. Are we going
He needs to play more
Arcanes?
passive. He's too aggressive.
We're going for Mountain Coin, going quick tech into tier 3. We're going Castle already.
Player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, I'm not sure what army he wants to get. I know that Deathnote likes to get, against Creeplord, he plays a lot of like Breaker plus Griffins. But I don't know against Dreadlord, like, I mean, he should scout first of all. He should try and see what Sheik's doing and then counter that as best as possible. Like I said, if it's Necromancers, you probably shouldn't go air. So yeah, he needs to scout, but he's really short on lumber. So he's getting the lumber upgrade now. And he's busy defending now.
Alright. Dreadlord is what,
A player's
5
forces
or
are
9
under
experience shy from level 5, right? When that carry-on swarm is going to really click in. It looks like we're going into still no Necropolis back at home, but we are getting a Death Knight second, so it's not a solo Dreadlord. That Archmage is at level 3 and level 1, and I think Deathnote is, I think he's a little mentally trapped. He's not sure what he wants to do yet. He like stopped building on his blacksmith and his arcane vault back at home for a long time, and it looks like he's choosing to go into Arcane Sanctum and workshops for flying machines.
Yeah, it's kind of the standard nowadays. You cannot go for like heavy barracks units. You'll mix in some knights, but you need breakers usually. If there's necromancers, you'll need priests. You need flying machines to counter destroyers and mortars to counter like banshees or necros, for example. But Sheik is dropping down 2 slaughterhouses. I really like the timing on the DK as he kills a bunch of peasants at the expo. He dodged the Stormbolt, very nicely done actually, with the Zeppelin.
Yep. Arcane Tower focusing, trying to remove the mana from the Dreadlord. We should see some more Carrion Swarms ripping through there, trying to take down more of those units as well. And Archmage Mountain King not having an easy time getting to that back line. The Scroll of the Beast also helping with damage, and the Mountain King taking a lot more damage than I would have expected, as well as the Goblin Zeppelin now being forced away by the Water Elemental, trying to stop this drop or force a Scroll of Town Portal. Dreadlord still eating up a lot of damage. Archmage down to, buys a Potion of Healing and uses it just in time there, as the Scroll of Regeneration being used as well. All right, Staff of Teleportation coming in. It looks like the Death Knight's going to show up to the party, perhaps trying to get a Death Coil off on the Archmage.
He has double mana pot. He's delivering double mana pot. Oh, he dropped one on the floor. Oh my god. Deathnote needs to force a TP right now, because like if those mana pots are used, he might lose a lot more units. He's already lost so many peasants to this, and he already had no wood prior to this either. Dreadlord getting closer and closer to 6. He's almost 5.5 now.
Yep. Arcane Tower starting to feed back, trying to remove mana from the Death Knight. Are we going to see a Death Coil on the Mountain King? Dreadlord still has, only Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on the Mountain King. Mountain King going to be able to hold its own. No Stormbolt onto that Dreadlord. I would have thought a Stormbolt there, but it really feels like Sheik may be overstaying his welcome a little bit too long here. Deathnote doing a great job holding his own, using the Arcane Vault to his advantage, and the Dreadlord gets taken out.
Okay, that was not supposed to happen. Perfectly timed Stormbolt. Sheik overextended. That was the Dreadlord levels 5. Almost 6, that's gonna go down. Almost 6. And now he loses the DK immediately behind. MK, he hadn't crept a single camp. He literally just went here and he's almost level 3. What the hell was that?
I don't know. Sheik is sitting on a large amount of gold. You can't count him out, but giving that much free experience to that Mountain King and the Archmage, right? Those odd levels on the heroes, so important. And now all of a sudden, Sheik is going to have to deal with either level 2 Clap or level 2 Stormbolt, both things that, made the, even without them, Deathnote was able to do a lot of damage. We are looking at Dreadlord coming back in. He was resurrected at the tavern. Dreadlord's going to come in. There's a sleep onto the Archmage. Is he going to be able to force a surround? But there are knights here trying to break free, and the Dreadlord once again Stormbolt. Dreadlord down to 104 hit points, forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to head back home.
Yeah, that was terrible. He killed one priest. When you instant revive a hero at the tavern, he comes back with 0 mana. So I don't know why he was even going there. Like, he had no mana potion, nothing. Like, that was never going to be good. He should have just waited for the DK and then started to creep on his side like he's doing now to try and get the DK to 3.
Yeah, he needs to get that odd level. He needs to be able to heal that Dreadlord, especially if he's leaving that Dreadlord up in the front. Dreadlord is invisible. It does have rune bracers, so maybe Sheik was thinking that the Stormbolt would protect him from being focused down too quickly. But no, Dreadlord is going to be trying to kill some peasants either at the main base or the expansion to try to get to 6, while the Death Knight plays around on the map to try to get to 3.
Oh, a Flying Machine at the right time flies in there to detect the invisible Dreadlord, but it's already Carrioned anyway. Goes for some peasant kills. As Deathnote, hey, actually, I think he wants to go towards the center. Maybe he's trying to catch the rest of the army. You always know that if you go there, the Dreadlord will usually staff on time. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
MK in the center doing some hunting on his own.
Oh yeah, catching some units in transit. Looks like the Ghoul gonna get taken out. Oh, Mountain King does have Boots of Speed, should be able to catch up to that Ghoul pretty easily. Alright, so Destroyers are in the air. Archmage forcing the Scroll of Town Portal. Flying Machines trying to shoot down some of the Destroyers, but the Destroyers have mana. And as long as Destroyers have mana, Flying Machines versus Destroyers, the Destroyers normally win with that little bit of extra splash and bonus damage. We're looking at a Knight down here. Is he going to get woken up? As the Flying Machines, a giant squad, you're going to go ahead and try and take down all of those Destroyers. Death Knight only at level 2, not going to have that level 3 Death Throw that is needed to try and keep this army alive. Scroll of Healing being used as well, but it looks like one Destroyer may end up able to stay alive as it gets backed off at the last moment. Howl of Terror keeping the units alive as well, but the Mountain King is at 3, Paladin is at level 2, grabbing up a Divine Shield, taking down the Death Knight at level 2, as the Dreadlord looks to be overstaying. There is a Pit Lord here, another Howl of Terror perhaps, but Deathnote now taking the supply lead 45 to 36 here, as well Sheik needs to get out of here as this fight is not going to go his way with home field advantage for Deathnote.
He still has a big invuln and Ankh, so he cannot really lose any of his heroes. If anything, the Archmage was the one in danger for a second, kind of right in there. Deathnote needs to stop overreacting here. He has so many flying machines queued in this one workshop. He needs to go back to making some knights for the ground. Trying to kill the Dreadlord. He's gonna force the town portal out. Sheik was trying to kill some units until the last second. When you have this many flying machines, it would be a great time now to get Gyro Bomb and start killing buildings. But Deathnote's biggest problem, he has 1200 gold and 40 wood right now. So I think he probably should invest into a shredder or like a new one because he lost the previous one and he needs wood badly.
Yeah, I don't. Do you know if he got the level 2 lumber upgrade? I mean, with that much gold lumber disparity, he can't really build any other units.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I think he should either get that and get a couple peasants or buy a shredder with his next 100 lumber, which he just got. Yeah, there it is. So he just bought it. But it's gonna take a while to kick in. He's on 54 out of 54 against the Sheik, who, if he wanted, could get a lot of supply now as he's creeping and getting extra gold, and he's going into abominations, which I don't think Deathnote's gonna be ready for. Like, you might need some sorceresses to slow this down. And Dreadlord about to get 6 here at the expo.
Yeah, Dreadlord already got off 1 carry-on swarm. The peasants purposely trying to keep their distance, and Dreadlord needs, what is that, 70 or 73 more experience, 14 more experience to get to level 6 and then be able to summon down those Infernos. But the Mountain King, the Archmage, and the Paladin should be able to push all of those units back here in a second. And I don't know, Archmage, well, I don't know, with that many flying machines, he really does need to go for those bombs. He's really... he's like, with that much supply just getting locked up in the air, only aiming at destroyers. I don't know. Do you think Sheik should even try to train up a destroyer or 2 at this point?
Probably not. There's too many flying machines. He can just like let them kind of be there and useless. He has Carrion Swarm, so it's not like they're gonna start flying around and killing everything. Like 1 Carrion Swarm level 3 would kind of hurt on a big chunk of flying machines. But yeah, the problem is that the Aboms are not really being countered right now. Deathnote, I'm not even sure he really knows. I think he sent a Wet Elemental in. He saw like 2 Aboms. And yeah, his woods issue hasn't been fixed yet. Like that Shredder has yet to come back to the tunnel and give him a lot of woods. But his hero levels are pretty scary. Like any kind of target fire is gonna be scary. I would like to see an orb though. He's completely skipped the orb entirely. I mean, it's been a chaotic game. And the Dreadlord did get level 6 before getting out here, so that means the next fight is going to be opened with a giant Infernal landing on the human army.
Yeah. Well, the Deathnote's still only sitting at level 2, so even if he got the Orb of Fire, the healing that you prevent isn't that much. Death Knight getting to level 3 is going to be key for Sheik before the next engagement, and I think the Paladin is also going to be at 3 as well, so... I don't know, who do you think has the hero level advantage? Would you rather have 6-3-2 or 5-4-3? I think that's what the next engagement's going to be.
Forces are under attack.
Yeah, that 6 is a very scary one. The Infernal is really, really crazy. Such a good ulti.
Under siege.
Yeah, not being able to dispel it as well, and that AoE damage is going to be very key.
Deathnote seeing the Aboms, he's scouting with the flying machines, he's trying to go Griffins. So he's forcing an Aviary in his main base, but it's just so late. He's really training behind his supply right now. I almost would have liked to see him like just get 2 tanks or something to counter-attack. But those flying machines, I don't know if he made bombs, but now would be a good time to send them in to counter-attack as well. Because defense-wise, back at home, it's going to be so hard against this. There's so many Aboms.
Yeah, flying machine bombs are being researched now, but I think it's too little too late. The abominations, especially with Disease Cloud, is going to just make things a little bit more difficult. And are we going to see a Storm? Dreadlord waiting for that Infernal to be called down, and it doesn't seem like Deathnote wants to engage. He knows he can't pool up his units altogether. That stun is just going to be too much. The Infernal misses the stun, but it's attacking that back line.
He landed it behind you. That was some terrible aim. He landed it behind the Archmage. I expected him to land it on like everything, but kind of whiffed there. Mountain King almost surrounded. This could be bad. He needs to break out of there. There's still so many Carrion Swarm. He sleeps the Archmage to prevent any staff or Town Portal or just preventing Deathnotes from being able to pull back. Yeah, targeting the Dreadlord, but like I said, there is no orb. So he's getting the
Yeah.
full effect from this Death Coil here. Deathnote TP's in panic. The Paladin... Oh my god, he's gonna resurrect in the middle of the army. No.
Oh, resurrected there. It's just going to be surrounded. Death Knight, or excuse me, Paladin, gonna end up just getting stuck once more. There's a a poke
can
or
staff him.
the divine shield. Is he going to get staffed out?
Oh, he should
Wait
have healed
for
his
it.
Archmage first. There's still a bit of Divine Shield time. Infernal in the Expo. Wreaking havoc. Griffin on the way. Sheik thinking about diving that Paladin, but pretty ambitious with the towers there. He's trying to get on top of the Archmage again. Deathnote needs to pull back. He needs to get behind towers here. And pray that Sheik messes up.
Yeah. Sheik holding that Infernal, making sure that there's no mining at the expansion. Abominations here, and a little bit, it almost feels like it's too much. You're unable to get behind or into the actual base, causing a little bit of problems. Another School of Town Portal just trying to just teleport behind that gold mine, but that's going to open things up for the Town Hall to get pressured by the Abominations. The Abominations now surrounding that Town Hall. That Town Hall looks like it's going to fall. No easy repairs at all, as the Paladin is now back out onto the battlefield, able to get in some heals as well. Paladin going after the Abomination. Divine Shield once again being used. Death Knight needs to heal or save an Abomination. Not going to happen as the Griffins finally start doing their job. But it seems like the lines are just falling all over the place. A Destroyer jumps into the air only to get shot down a split second later by the
Oh my god, he blew up the
Machine.
DK. Malteki could be exposed in a second. He staffs him. Paladin stuck. Cloak of Shadows. Oh my god, he didn't have time to use it. Griffin's still going to work. Archmage is trapped in a corner between some bombs. He could maybe staff out. There's a sleep anyway. He can't... I mean, he could afford a TP, but at this point it's getting really expensive. Spamming those town portals to try and escape. Griffin's going to work on the bombs. Sheik has a third base in the meantime. He could go into so many gargoyles if he wanted to get rid of these Griffins, but they're still flying machines. The Archmage...
Griffins. Yeah. Oh, Archmage down to 50 hit points, is going to stay alive, down to 41, trying to run away to the very far back. Pit Lord gets there, gets a swipe, not able to take it down as the priest is trying to heal, and it looks like the Archmage is still going to fall. Dreadlord still staying at 6, Pit Lord getting closer to 4. The flying machines able to take down gargoyles. You cannot get air superiority one at a time against this many flying machines, but the battle on the ground and the carry-on swarm is just ripping through so many of those flying machines and griffins that it feels like it almost doesn't matter.
Malteki got level 5 somehow. The flame machines need to intervene here. Yeah, Gargoyle gonna get sniped. There's not enough mana for Carrion. Dreadlords, worst case scenario, he can't pull it out. He's probably gonna have to use that, yeah. Not gonna risk getting blown up here yet again. And Deathnote is mined out on the main base. Sheik is taking the base in the bottom left.
Alright, so right now it's going to be 1 base to 3 Sheik, holding his natural expo, holding the top right, and we'll know if Deathnote tries to take the bottom left. Supply is 46 to 44, and it feels like I just watched a very extra long round in a UFC battle. Right there, everyone's just bloody. Everyone has like broken bones. They're trying to go into their corner. Infernal being called in again to take down. Is it gonna get a Knight? It gets. Oh no! Knight goes down to 2 hit points as the Infernal is just gonna use its body to try and stop some of the mining right here and deal damage once again. The Griffin Rider is just looking at it. Oh, the Knight, is it gonna accidentally walk in? No, but Infernal should be able to at least deal a little bit more damage. And flying machines getting ripped apart. Carry-on swarm ripping through the flying machines that were hiding above the trees again.
Oh my god. The Infernal, he kills the Mountain King with the Carrion. And that's it. Sheik wins game number 1. What a crazy game we just saw.
I don't know how to recap that game.
Just UFC war.
Yeah. It didn't seem
Clown
to
Fiesta.
matter how. Yeah, it was just. Okay, it was actually like, have you seen the YouTube where it's like those slapping matches where like you have to stand there and someone slaps you as hard as you can and then you have to slap back?
Oh,
And
yeah, it's in Russia, right? There's this big guy, a dumpling. He's one of the strongest ones. I know that.
Yeah, like that's what it felt like. It just felt like someone got slapped really hard and then they're like, okay, my turn. And then you slap the other guy really hard and you don't know why you can't stop watching. It's interesting, but you just think to yourself, man, that's gotta hurt.
Only one way to find out Crota. You gotta sign up for the next one.
No, 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 no. I hopefully they do it by weight class, and you know, I don't think there's anyone in my weight class, so I'd win by default.
All right, I'm waiting on the game name. I'll let you know. Okay, Victor 2. It's already up.
All right. How do I get moved down?
You can pick Observer. You see where there's T2? Click there and then click Observer.
There you go.
Bro, I still got so much food. I'm struggling.
Maybe human in next batch too. Yeah, that was a crazy slapping match between the two. Moving on to Amazonia. Oh no, Northern Isle.
God damn it, I don't even have time to chew. They're so fast.
It's all right. It's all right. I'll do the intros. I'll do the first minute. Just move the camera around for me so it makes sense to the stream.
Okay, boss.
All right. Over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have Sheik spawning as the blue undead player here. Game number 2 in what I believe to be a best-of-3 series. Human or Deathnote taking a 1-0 lead. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we are looking at Deathnote spawning as the yellow human player here, opening up with the Altar of Kings farm. Barracks, pretty standard openings. We're not going to be going into, any sort of tavern hero shenanigans or the invincible rifleman army with a paladin first. Now, opening in the first game, it was Archmage versus a Dreadlord, and Dreadlord did open up for a quick and easy expand. But Last Refuge, the expansion not as easy to defend. So I am expecting to see a Death Knight going up against an Archmage here, or perhaps a Mountain King. What heroes will it be? Archmage versus Death Knight. All right, so tried and true classic heroes going back to Reign of Chaos 2002. What a crazy journey we've been in and on for Warcraft 3.
Do you follow the game and play since the start?
Yeah, since Reign of Chaos, I played. I retook a couple of classes in college because of Warcraft 3. And yeah, I remember camping out at my local Fry's in the summer, picking up my collector's edition of Warcraft 3. So played it from the start. Played pretty actively until 2010, and then realized that I was never going to be as good as the pros, and I didn't get a computer science degree to try and become an esports professional.
And you did some StarCraft 2 as well, right?
Oh yeah, I did StarCraft 2. Did some StarCraft 2 casting. I think I cast Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. Never cast any Legacy of the Void.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty fun trip overall. Had a lot of views on YouTube, and then Twitch opened up, and well, all of the viewers went to Twitch instead.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like back in the day, if you had like a radio cast, you were happy. People watched games on WAC TV with like some sort of like, I don't know, sound file. You know, it was like put the game on like 15 seconds and then count 3, 2, 1 or whatever. Like we were happy with that. Now, if I tune into a Twitch and it's 720p, I'm losing my mind. I'm like, where's that 1080p? Wee! We're so spoiled.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we are still spoiled. I remember WC replays, listening to Bunny Like she would be, you'd download the replay. There'd be an audio file. You'd like sync it up at the two-minute mark, right when the hero pops out, and you'd control the camera and you'd watch the replay as the commentator was going. So, and you'd be lucky if you got like one of those a week.
Alright, the Expo being crept. Sheik missed the coil actually. Oh my god, I didn't even realize. He's probably gonna get the Magi. Oh, he gets surrounded! He's going for the Magi. Oh my god, Deathnote almost got it. After the coil, he wasn't quite dead. The surround still holds though. He's trying to break out. It's a prison break. Has to TP with low hit points.
But taking down a couple of peasants in the process, it looks as though the peasants are going to be going for a fast expand. Behind this already, Sheik is already 2/3 of the way for his tech to tier 2. And with that, the Death Knight is going to try and do a little bit of creeping, even though he is low on health, down to, 75 hit points. And without that Unholy Aura, that regeneration is just not going to be fast enough. Death Knight picking up another Rod of Necromancy. Needs the creep, but I don't know, maybe he should have, or he definitely should have used that Scroll of Town Portal earlier. A lot of the times, or sometimes I get asked, when do you use that Scroll of Town Portal early on? And is it better to let your level 1 hero die? Or do you burn that Scroll of Town Portal since, Scroll of Town Portal costs 350? And you also have to factor in the amount of time lost. Death Knight gets surrounded, 5 units around by the footman as it was trying to make its way off to the north, and it goes down still after getting to level 2. That was perhaps the worst possible thing. Perhaps even better to have the Death Knight fall at level 1. The resurrection time difference is huge between level 1 and level 2.
He's gonna instant revive, which is, I mean, even though it's not level 2, it's still somewhat expensive. That was a 6th round. I think it was normal to Town Portal, but Sheik was supposed to get level 2 after that from the camp at the bottom, but he kept sending skeletons to be aggressive, so he had nothing to tank. So he was losing even more hit points on the DK. Once you have Unholy Aura, you got that hit point regen is so much better already, like to replenish hit points. You also could have bought Dagger, like to try and heal a little bit, but he didn't, so that was a little bit sloppy. Got surrounded, no Archmage is 3. And Deathnote definitely in this game. I think Deathnote is very good against DK play, by the way.
Yeah, I think Deathnote's going to be able to control this for quite some time. He does have a large number of footmen. Are we going to see a Lich, or is he going to try to do something cute and go for Panda? No, he's going to go ahead and train the Lich. He's thinking long term, but I don't know. At this point, Panda with Breath of Fire, if he is trying to invest in time and shutting down the expansion, as opposed to just doing creeping of his own, I don't know. I don't know if he's using his time that wisely here. Just the Death Knight and 2 Crypt Fiends in the middle of the map.
I think he was trying to keep him busy. As skeletons in the main base killed 1 peasant. And they're about to kill 1 more.
Oh, alright, so trying to distract everywhere on the map. A couple of easy kills off to the side. Crypt Fiends still being chased all the way back home. Archmage, however, going to be sitting on an economic advantage. He's running on 2 bases. It doesn't look like they're going to fall anytime soon. And the Lich is now out. So perhaps this is exactly what Sheik was hoping for. Frost Nova could slow down some of those footmen. No Frost Nova onto the footmen to try and pick off those units. Even with the Unholy Aura movement speed, Deathnote doing a decent job trying to make sure that none of the footmen are standing too close together. As we're going to be looking at an engagement there. Oh, there's the Frost Nova finally going down. We could end up seeing a denial.
Deny? He gets it.
There's the deny.
Very well done. By Deathnote, he's getting some towers in the main, some tower in the expo shop, blacksmith. He's he's getting everything he needs to get. Maybe not a deny. Nope, not quite. The Lich gets that. And yeah, the tier 3 was reached very quickly for Sheik. So his best move is to pick up the orb, probably creep the merchant. He doesn't need to be attacking him immediately here. He's been obsessed with the skeletons. Again, there are skeletons in the main base trying to kill peasants. I think he's just trying to destroy the lumber economy of Deathnote, but it's actually pretty good. He built up a big peasant count on both the main and the expo.
Yeah, well, wow, he actually has more workers than army. 26 harvesters for Deathnote total, and only 21 army size. So at some point, wow, what does he do with all of those extra peasants? I think 26 is closer to if you're running off of 3 bases.
It's just about having enough food. When you expo,
Player's forces are under attack.
you need to have between 13 and 15 lumber peasant. No less. And it's better to have too many than too few. We saw it on Terranas, like his number of problems really messed him up.
The question behind this, though, is when is Deathnote going to break low upkeep, right? His army size sitting at 24, he's not going to be able to deal with Sheik as he's going to be going into tier 3 and having that tech advantage, especially as he goes into destroyers. He already has the obsidian statues out. If he transforms those, you know, gives them mana, he can easily dive in. The towers at the natural or at the expansion are close together, so they will be taking splash damage. And how quickly can we see Deathnote get in some flying machines right behind this as well to make sure that the destroyers don't have too much time to just play around at the expansions and taking down those towers. All right. Mountain King now back out onto the field as well. Archmage purposely backing away, wanting to get the Mountain King all of that experience. Mountain King running in, should be able to get to level 2 off of the remainder of this creep camp.
Yeah, that's big. He should get boots, invuln. And yeah, in the meantime, having a Sanctum, Workshop. Usually you want to get a second Workshop, so he might add that in a bit. He definitely has the economy for it. And he's already getting flak cannons, knowing that you have to be worried about destroyers. He did get invuln, but not boots. That's for sure a mistake. But yeah, as soon as Castle finishes, he's gonna start a Pala. And this is the big power spike for Sheik. Yeah, this is a strong timing. He's got, with that Book of the Dead and Greater Healing, he's got big pushing potential. And Deathnote needs to delay the fight for as long as possible.
All right, so we're looking at Death Knight, Lich, Dark Ranger, Crypt Fiends, the 2 Obsidian statues in the back. They do have Destroyer form, so at any point they could be taken to the skies. Death Knight holding off on that Book of the Dead, not popping it. There isn't an Arcane Tower in the base either, and he's trying to bait him over, getting in a Deathcoil Frostnova Spellbreakers, also trying to slip on through, trying to regroup with the rest of the army, but they're just gonna take almost 400 points of damage walking on by, and you can't allow that to happen. It looks like the Altar of Kings is gonna get taken down, and that is gonna delay the Paladin, as the Altar of Kings being sped, built, and rebuilt over here at the expansion.
Sheik's probably thinking about it. He opened the gates, he's like, do I go in? The problem is that if you go in, all the militia is going to be called, the tower is going to be shooting, and you could be in trouble. Deathnote should be faking the attack here. He should not actually be fighting. I don't know why he's engaging. This is a big mistake. He doesn't have Paladin. He doesn't have any Knights. This is weird. I don't know why he's going to staff. Where's the invuln? Pops the invuln first. Archmage running in. What is he doing? He's in the center of everything. Might have to town portal.
Yeah, Archmage may end up getting... Yeah, Archmage in trouble. Peasants trying to back away here. Death Knight actually in a little bit of trouble. Scroll of Town Portal trying to back up. Death Knight still has a potion of greater healing. Not going to be in that much trouble at all, as the Scroll of Town Portal went back to the natural expansion, and it's going to be a little bit of a walk to head on over. The Paladin still about, 40%, not going to be able to join them just quite yet. And still, Sheik is going to be able to put in a bit of pressure here. Dark Ranger trying to get some additional skeletal minions on that side of the map. And there's a lot of precious time for Sheik to just get hit points and mana back onto that Death Knight and that Dark Ranger, as he's trying to figure out how he can bait Sheik to not continue to put pressure inside the main base.
Oh my god, the Breaker gets staff dies instantly. He didn't staff the Mountain King before TPing with the Archmage. But I think even if he did, he probably would have staffed in range of where it could be attacked. Tries to go for a surround on the Fiend here, +1 attack already there. For Sheik, who's got the first stab bomb with Disease Cloud. That's gonna hit everything here. Deathnote tries to disengage. He went for the Paladin, so he had to queue the Mountain King behind that. He needs to buy time somehow, but Sheik is not allowing any time for him. He's just getting on top of the peasants and saying, you gotta fight right now, even though you're not ready.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Sheik's push here. This timing push. The Death Knight's still only at level 3, but one Dark Ranger with black arrows is constantly putting up additional skeletal minions inside the main base, forcing this fight here, and then Abominations and Crypt Fiends are still joining in. Footmen have the Fend, they're trying to charge in, but with the Disease Cloud, they're not going to be long for this world, as the Paladin needs to get staffed back out as it dove in a bit too far. It looks like Deathnote is going to retreat back with that Death Knight, or the Archmage. Archmage falls from the Death Knight, from a Death Coil, and we may see a GG soon here as there's a last-ditch effort to try and call militia over.
Yeah, Deathnote still has some knights queued inside of that barracks. He's playing StarCraft right now. He's fighting with just units, no heroes, as the Paladin is almost out of the Staff of Sanctuary here, but Sheik, it doesn't feel like he's losing enough here for Deathnote to have a chance. Mountain King almost gets surrounded. He's about to break out. Holy Light is going to come in a second, but might not help enough as there is so many undead units attacking him, and the Orb of that Lich as well. And he's still missing the boots.
Yeah. Mountain King ends up getting taken down there. Disease Cloud, a whole bunch of peasants and footmen low on hit points, and it looks like the main base may actually fall. Dark Ranger gonna move on over once again, using those black arrows, try to get some extra minions on the other side of the map. Obsidian Statue, only one up, but it's enough to provide a bit of mana and hit points. Is he casting both with manual? No, he's not, only doing Essence of Mana, as the Death Knight will try and get some Death Coils off and keep that Abomination alive and perhaps a bit. Overall supply, 55 to 51, and I don't see a major hero level advantage for Sheik yet. Deathnote's holding, but it feels like he's going to be reaching a breaking point at some time soon.
Yeah, he misrallied a bunch of units. He has like a breaker in the bottom left doing nothing. He has flying machines at the expo, just chilling on their own. There is not even any more destroyer. So those flying machines, they do nothing. He needs like more of a ground army. But yeah, I think he's just gonna wait for the Archmage to be back. Then he has to remake the Mountain King after that. Knight gets intercepted and he's gonna fall. This is really bad. This is one of your few units that you really needed here to have a chance. Yeah, he might fight in a second. I think he's just... If he loses the castle, it's so bad anyway.
Yeah. Alright, Knight's trying to retreat back. Death Knight continuing that pressure. Death Knight getting up to level... or should be able to get up to level 4. Level 2 on Holy Aura would make chasing a bit easier. Peasants are now trying to repair that castle, but that also puts them in range of the Dark Ranger. And to try and get in more skeletal minions again, that's always that danger here. As the Obsidian Statue is providing a little bit of cover. We are looking at Knights joining back in. Are we going to see a Frost Nova? No Frost Nova. Lich didn't have enough just quite yet. As the Paladin is trying to make Sheik break formation to try and save the castle. Dark Ranger getting up to level 3, level 2 Black Arrows. And I think it's the lack of the Arcane Tower in the main base, which is making this Dark Ranger harassment just that much stronger. Staff of Preservation or Staff of Sanctuary teleports the Knight back over, but that's going to be an easy kill again as the Death Knight gets to level 4.
Oh no, the Pala is silenced, and he's gonna go down without a chance to use Divine Shield, and Deathnote has had enough. Sheik will move on to the next round.
Alright.
Alright, Crota, it was a pleasure. Again, for all the viewers, I'm gonna post the VODs as well on YouTube, I guess. So for all the viewers that enjoy your casting here and maybe didn't follow you yet, where can they follow you?
You can go ahead and follow me, ToDGaming on YouTube and ToSC on Twitch.
Any social media?
Facebook, ToDGaming.
OnlyFans?
Nope. I didn't build all of that yet.
Yeah, sometime soon, right? All right, thank you for joining me, man.
Oh no, thank you for having me. It sounded like you were having difficulties casting with Michael's, so I just wanted to join in.
Yeah, no, he kept talking to me about this food I said I don't like. Yeah, so it was a struggle.